Trading is extremely difficult and 95% of traders fail. These are going to be the top 10 reasons you are not making money this year as a trader. Trading is always evolving, times are always changing, and so we need to adapt as traders. But if you follow these 10 rules I'll be giving you and understand what you're making wrong and making a switch to make it right, I promise you, you will 10x your trading this year and hopefully become profitable before you know it. Number one, and I think this is probably one of the biggest things that traders are failing at, is learning the wrong things. I see too many traders out there focusing on indicators being really the beginning one. When you're a complete beginner, they want to focus on those indicators and find the right indicator that will magically tell them when they will buy and when they will sell. Truth is, guys, is there is no such thing as an indicator that will turn you profitable. You can try any type of algorithms, EMA, SMAs, and any other tools, the combinations, they will not let you know when to buy and sell. It's very simple as that. A lot of times they may look really good in hindsight, but realistically they are only working under certain parameters, and so very often they're profitable, or even the risk to reward might not be great. So my first advice to you is do not follow these indicators and turn off all of your charts. Just keep your price actions and focus on that in the very beginning. Then you can add some indicators later on if it helps you in any certain ways. But at the very beginning, I believe a trader should have a complete blank state when they're looking at the charts and focus only on the price action. Guys, if you master the price action, if you understand how and why the market is moving and the structure the market is making, you will become profitable. You will know where the market is going and you will find your edge in the markets. Number two is focusing on too many things, and I mean that not just with simply indicators and strategies and those sort of things, but also as a trader focusing on too many different types of trading. You might be getting into swing trading, day trading, penny stocks, options, forex, crypto, futures, and so on and so forth. There is too many things out there that you can only learn and master, so my recommendation is to only focus on one of those. Now you might be asking, Antonio, how did you get into options? Why do you mostly trade options? Yes, I do trade some forex, some crypto, and a couple other things, but mostly everybody knows me for trading options. The reason is, it's one of the first things I learned. It's one of the first things I learned, got good at, and I stuck to it. So if you're making money doing a certain thing, don't change it, correct? But also don't keep changing it just because you're not making money. You can be profitable on all aspects. Everything has its pros, everything has its cons. It's just about you sticking to a singular one and becoming profitable at that. So, if your thing is trading options, go all in on understanding and trading options. If you don't like options, you don't like that they only open in 30 EST because your job or you live somewhere else, or you don't like the Greeks, I understand all that. Then just stick to whatever you want to trade. You want to trade forex? That's a great option. Not a lot of people that make a ton of money all in trading forex. That's why I also like to trade forex from time to time. Only trade forex. So make sure you are laser focused on one thing. One of the things that my drill sergeant told me when I was very young is, rather than being a forest fire, being a fire that's spreading everywhere, it can be, it's just burning everything around, become a laser, become just one really strong point, and that's how you should be when it comes down to the learning, focusing on only one strategy in the beginning, focusing on only one type of trading, and learning from one person is my recommendation. Number three is the self-doubt. So as a trader, it is extremely difficult to become profitable because you have to be okay with being wrong. As humans, probably the hardest thing that we have to accept is being wrong. Imagine last time you get into a conversation, an argument with your parents, family member, a friend, a spouse, a loving person, whatever it is. I promise you, you hated being wrong, and you try to make your case for, make any excuse for your case to be right because you didn't want to be wrong. You want the other person to be wrong. The other person does not want to be wrong, and they get mad at you, and you guys just get mad. Well, guess what? With trading, you will be wrong. You will be wrong very, very often, and we have to understand that that's okay, right? And that creates self-doubt into individuals that they think they cannot become good at traders because they're wrong from time to time. It's hard for them to accept that being wrong is part of the game, and if anything, you should be okay with it more than your wins because it's going to happen so often. And if you create a self-doubt within you, I promise you, you're just not going to be able to make it long term because it's a very, very strong mental game when it comes down to trading. And as a whole, you need to be able to understand that It's okay to be wrong. It does not make you a bad trader because you're wrong here and there. Because guess what? The best hedge funds in the world, the best traders you can think of, Warren Buffett, he's taken many, many losses on his way up. Do not let that self-doubt build within yourself. You need to fight through it. Number 4 is your paper trading. You're going the wrong way about paper trading. Now, paper trading is a really important skill that everybody should use and, to get familiar when they're first starting out. But you're doing it wrong. The reason you're doing it wrong is because you're not taking it serious, and it is really hard to take paper trading serious. Why are you paper trading with $100,000? Right? It is not realistic, and it feels more like a game rather than actually a tool that you're using to learn. As my drill surgeon always said, practice doesn't make perfect. So if you're practicing just to practice, you're half-assed, you're practicing, guess what? When the real game comes, you're not going to be good. And paper trading is very similar. When you're half-assing your paper trading, you're not taking it serious, guess what happens? When it comes to a real game, when it comes to live trading, you're going to get crushed and you're going to lose money. You have to practice as if you were actually in live trading. Only trade 3 to 5 contracts if that's all you're going to afford when you live trade. Also with paper trading, it is very hard to be able to handle those emotions, and I understand that, and I'm okay with the aspect of paper trading that it's not going to teach you emotions. But the best thing you can do is at least try to mimic as much as possible every aspect of paper trading that you would with regular trading. You're not going to buy 10,000 shares of Google, right, in your live account. So don't buy 10,000 shares of Google on your paper trading account. You don't want to waste your time learning something you're not going to use and it's not going to be any beneficial of you. Guys, time is money, and time is the biggest currency that you currently have. So you cannot be wasting it fooling around on paper trading. Number 5, not withdrawing your profits. So there's a lot of traders out there, and you'd be surprised that if I actually started day trading, were first profitable, maybe they flipped an account from 1,000 to 3,000, but then eventually what happened? They blew up their account. So the issue is that as day traders, one of your job is to take profits. And I don't mean to take profits, you sell a position, you keep it in your brokerage account. I mean like take profits as in sell your position, take out the money, transfer it to your personal bank account, because the day will come. There will be a day, and it happens at all levels of trading, where just something is wrong with you that day. You're not following your rules, you're not following your plan, and you're going to be blowing up your account. And I'm sure there's a lot of you guys that are going to be watching this video and you're going to be relating to this. I've met too many traders that were actually doing really well, but then they blew up their account and they lost money and they never got back into day trading. So my advice for you is make sure you're taking that profit. And also it will do something to you mentally that when you see that money, rather than always you putting money into the brokerage account, the brokerage account money going to your bank account, guess what's going to happen? It's going to make you really understand that this is a business that can actually make you money. Go out there and spend that money as well, because it will, kind of bring a smile to your face. Like, oh wow, this is trading money I'm spending. I can really take this serious. Number 6, stop cutting corners. Too many of you guys think that you can skip the learning curve. You can just cut the corners. I'm not going to paper trade. I don't want to learn the basics of technical analysis. I don't need to. I can just dive straight into. Guess what? The last place where you want to be humbled is in the stock market, because it will take your money and it will take your confidence, both of them. So stop cutting corners. If the template of becoming a trader is paper trade, educate yourself. Learn the basic, learn a strategy, test the strategy, back test that strategy, then start with a small account, eventually scale it to a larger account. You cannot cut any of those corners because your lack of education will let you get destroyed in the market. Think about this as a doctor. Would you want a doctor that cut corners, skipped 2 of his classes his last semester? No, because that classes might have been really important when they performed surgery on you. Very similar to trading. If you skip a class, if you cut a corner, that corner could have been the one that would have helped you from blowing up your account. Number 8, risk management. Guys, you do not need to be good at trading. You really don't. You don't need to have all this great TA and analysis if your risk management is really, really good. I met traders that don't really know much when it comes to TA and all the strategies and this really, this other stuff. But what do they have? They have really great risk management. If single-handedly your risk management is great, you can make money trading. I promise you that. That should be always, when you enter a trade, your focus. Understanding how to preserve capital, how to maximize every dollar you're putting on the markets to make you the most amount of money. Risk management is that you are risking, for example, $1, and you're potentially going to make $3 for each dollar you're risking. Now, that's really good. Now, what do some traders do? They have negative risk management. That means that they're risking $1 to make 50 cents to even just $1 to break even. And long term, guys, that's not a profitable strategy. You at the very least need to have a 1 to 2 risk management, in my opinion, which means for every dollar you put out, you should be making back 2 when everything is said and done. Now, will that happen every single time? It will not. You will have some trades that will have a 1-to-1 risk management, sometimes even lower than that if you need to get out because maybe you see something in the markets that's not going to be happening good. For example, you don't want to hold through a news event, so you might close it earlier. Overall, over the course of your trading career, you should be aiming for positive 1 to 2, and if anything better is, better is always better, risk management, because long term, that's the only way you're going to become profitable. Number 9, being greedy. Guys, we've all been greedy. Let me tell you a story. When I was up $50,000, right? I was in the positive plus $50,000. And guess what happened? I got greedy. I wanted more. I was like, well, I'll let this run to 70, 80, maybe even 100,000. But guess what happened? The stock dipped a little bit, and now I was only up 35,000. I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'm still in profit. I just want to let this run to 50,000. I'll just wait till 50, and I'll take the 50. Okay, well, so what happened? It went down to 26,000. I move on my stop loss. Now I'm like, okay, how about 30,000? If it comes like 30,000, I'm out. It went down to 19,000. And you guys can understand what's happening next. Before I know it, I only took home $5,000 out of it, potentially $50,000. So I kept saying, well, if it just goes up, if it gets a little bounce, then I'll close at 20, 25, 30, and so on and so forth. And I'm sure that happened to a ton of you guys, where you saw $200, maybe your small account, and you're like, if I see 300, I'll close it. You do not follow your trading plan. You do not follow your right risk management, and that profit that you had, poof, vanished, and you let a green trade potentially either go to break even, a small green, or even worse, a red trade. And as a trader, that's the number one sin that you cannot make. You cannot let a really good green trade, I'm not talking about you're up 1 or 2%, I'm talking about it's up 30, 35%, for example, for options, 50%. You cannot let that trade turn red, right? Because that's showing me that you are getting too greedy, and you either A, need to take a step back and really focus and reassess. Maybe it's not the day that you should be trading. Maybe you're getting a little too greedy, and that often happens. When you get greedy the most is when you had a big wins. So when you had a big win, the one thing that you can do to prevent the next day from taking a big loss, because it happens very often, is take the day off. If you hit big and you make a lot of money trading, you're going to feel overconfident and you're going to let that greed take over. Because let's say you made $10,000. You're like, well, I don't want to settle for 1,000. I don't want to settle for 2,000. I need another 10,000 big home run. That's how you're going to feel right after it. So make sure you take a step back, take the day off trading, and reset for the 2 days after or even the next week. So that's the best advice I can give you guys to control that greed aspect. Number 10, and the last one, it's going to be shocking for you guys. This one is your trailing stop losses. Guys, trailing stop losses do not work. They're not good. You might be thinking that trailing stop loss sounds great, I'm minimizing my risk, this and that. Guys, trailing stop losses are not good. Because if your trading is following your plan, why are you cutting that plan shorter than it needs to be? Leave your stop loss where it is, leave your profit targets where they are, and that is simple as that. Too many guys are like, oh my god, I set a trailing stop loss, boom, I got out at 5% green, ran to 30%. Like, hey, you need to let your trades do what they need to do. The trades sometimes need time. If you make a plan, if that plan executes in 5 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, it does not matter. You follow those levels and you let that plan work out, and it will also help your confidence in the long term. I never use trailing stop losses. I don't recommend people from using trailing stop losses. At best, what I recommend is moving up your stop loss. So let's say you had a stop loss down here, your first profit target gets hit, you can move that stop loss to the break-even point on when you entered, and you let the winners keep running. But you don't have a stop loss that just follows it at any little dip. It's just going to stop it out and get you out of that trade. That also messes up your risk management in the long term, because now you're kind of exiting at random points in the charts versus calculated points that you had analyzed prior. So that's the top 10 tips that I can give you guys. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you did, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button down below. You need to rely on me every single day. You know where to find me. The links will be there as well. And as always, peace.